In this video, I'm going to show you how you can start building some awesome spirals with this command block setup, just like you can see in this time lapse. So first, let's get into what has to happen for a spiral to even be generated at all, because it seems kind of crazy that you could do this, but here's the basic idea. So if I summon an armor stand at the half coordinates that'll center it on the correct block, with no gravity and this specific AA tag, and I chain on with always active another armor stand summoning command. What this is it's execute at all entities with the tag AA, which is the original. So execute at the original armor stand and then run summoning a new armor stand. But what it's doing is it's summoning it 8 blocks forward with no gravity in the tag AB. And then I summon this. So what this has created is a sort of chain like this. And I can do a few things. One is I can say, okay, execute at AA and then run a teleportation of AB 8 blocks in front, directionally speaking. So what this is saying is like, okay, 8 blocks in front of where this points, teleport AB, which is this there, which on its own does not do much special. Right now it's just teleporting it to where it already is, but what needs to happen is this has to rotate. So if I were to say executing at AA, run a teleportation of AA in the same place but rotated 1 degree, what'll happen in the repeating command block is if I turn that on, now this is rotating and this is continually being teleported. So right now this is a circle. This is not a spiral. And the question I had to solve to get a spiral was the question of, well, how do I get this to teleport in by a shrinking distance? So here I have the full command block set up. First, this is going to summon the 2 armor stands at that coordinate, that half coordinate, with the no gravity, this rotation, which is important, that makes sure it starts pointing in the correct direction, with the tag A. This one, which is chained on always active, is going to spawn in with a different rotation tagged B, and this is a half coordinate too. This relies on scoreboard. I'll show how the scoreboard works in this case. So if I clear the scoreboard by removing my objective A, B, C, D, E. So first, I summon a new objective called A, B, C, D, E, and it's a dummy, which I honestly don't know what that means. Then I add tick, and tick is set to 0. You'll see that in a second. And then I add 1, and 1 is set to 1. You'll see this thing that says non-recurring function run first. What this is doing is this is going to first create a scoreboard element for every single number from 0 to 6,000, because this system that I made runs for 6,000 ticks. You could change the tick value if you want. The file that I'm about to show in a second has a /scoreboard players add for every single number. So like /scoreboard players add 1, ABCDE 1, /scoreboard players add 2, ABCDE 2. And those will now all be in the scoreboard, which is a lot of elements. What this does is every single tick, add 1 to the already existing value of the element tick. So this one that says recurring function is essential to how it's actually possible to make the distance shrink over time. So what this is every single tick this repeating command block fires a function. That function in and of itself has 6,000 /execute commands. So what are the functions actually? Well, I'm in my world safe folder, and if I go into this folder I made called data packs, I have 2 folders here. You only need 1. So let's say I have this folder named whatever I want it to be named. I have 2 things, the pack.mcmeta, which you can find on the Minecraft Wiki's pack format page, and then a folder called data, which this is locked. This has to be named data. This can be named anything you want. And this has to be named function. So if I come into here now, I can see the functions I showed a moment ago. If I open up Notepad++, this one called beginning.mc function, which I only run one time, it adds a scoreboard element to the scoreboard ABCDE with the name of every single number and the value of every single number from 1 to 6,000. If on the other hand I open the one called rotatable example, which is the one that runs every tick, this is a lot of /execute commands that are saying, okay, execute if the score of tick is this matching this value, run an execute command that teleports to this distance. So the numbers that you see that say matches 1, matches 2, matches 3 are actually the names of the elements that I just added a moment ago. I'll show in a second how I got these exact functions so that you can know how to recreate this. The specific code line that I used to generate this was this. Whatever you want the n to be, add 1 to it. So in this case, I wanted the n to be 6001. So I set that to 6001. And if I press play, you just need to click these 3 dots and hit copy cell output, and then go into the function file, which is a .mc function file. You can open that in Notepad++, and you can save it as that in Notepad. You can paste the output into there. As for how I generated the other command list, I use this. Now, if you copy this exactly, you'll get the same result. But I changed this, the rstart, the starting radius, to 100. The ending radius I set to 10, and the number of steps was 6,000. And with this formula, which I'll put in the description or maybe in a pastebin or something, this should work out nicely if I press play. I'm going to demonstrate how this actually works, and I will put all these commands in the description. First, I'm going to fill the canvas with air to get rid of anything that might be lingering. Now I'm going to clear the scoreboard, summon the armor stands. I can turn on this to start rotating it. First, I'm going to turn on this one, and what this is going to do is it's going to place, actually no, lapis in this case, at the point of one of the armor stands. Now I'm going to hit scoreboard set, and that'll begin this one. That'll add some stuff to the scoreboard. I'm not going to turn on the thing that adds to the scoreboard yet. But now that I've done that, I can run the thing that says recurring function. This is the one that has a lot of execute commands in it. And then the last thing I need to do to make something actually happen is to turn on add to scoreboard. And when I click that, it should actually start to generate. So you can see right now that it's generating. Also, the fill command just sliced straight through my build like some kind of rail cannon. Thankfully, the spheres are okay. Either way, thanks for being willing to listen to me in my half-asleep state. And I will fix this, but only if you hit the like and subscribe button. Otherwise, I'm going to leave this forever, and it will just be ruined. So make sure that you hit those buttons so this actually gets fixed.